y'all. I'm not from Texas, so I don't even know why I said that. But subscriber request here on the Progetto 65. I know I've actually gotten a few of these on the Progetto. I've got a tips and tricks playlist. If there's a tank you're struggling with, shoot over there. Hopefully there's a vid that can help you out. But let's dive into the Progetto 65. So I'm going to try to go really into my thought process with this. So at the beginning, the Progetto 65, it's got really good sloped hull armor. You don't really have any turret armor, but I'm getting myself in a position where I'm trying to spot. I'm looking at the lineup of my team and the enemy to make a decision. I'm not being too aggressive here because I'm trying to spot. I'm using this bush to increase my camo. I was able to spot, and you can see because of that sloped great hull, I was able to angle and bounce that round, which is great with the Progetto and that sloped armor. Now, I'm not pushing here because a lot of my team is going over to the right. I know that M48 has great view range, and if they end up pushing on this side, we just don't have a chance. I can't do a 2 versus 1 here, and both of us kind of need to get off this. He needs to get off this hill, but I'm going to stay and support him a little bit so that he doesn't get overwhelmed. So I'm not going to completely ditch him, but I'm being very conscientious. The Progetto is one you do, even though you have excellent sloped armor, it's a tank you very much so have to rely on the landscape. So I'm using decision points based on my view range, my spotting, and yeah, just the landscape and knowing, different areas to go. But here I'm trying to help the grill. I didn't want to run away from him because I wanted to support him, and I want to use his cannon along with my auto reloader, just to see if we can really nail and get rid of some of these guys. And we're doing a great job. And once again, I was able to bounce. That Progetto hull is excellent. It's a very, very capable tank, but you don't ever want to be putting yourself in a position to be 100% relying on it. And now we've got this M48 in a position where he's in a bad spot, and now me and the grill can easily finish him off. So going back to what I was saying, with the Progetto being a medium tank, you need to get yourself in a position that you can effectively spot, and not only effectively spot, but that you can also protect yourself if you get spotted. But going along with that, now here, changing gears, I'm going down, and this is not the position you want to be putting the Progetto in. I'll totally admit in this replay, I made a couple mistakes that you guys don't want to use. In this position, I thought I was kind of tunnel visioning here a little bit, but you do not want to put yourself in a position to 100% rely on your armor, which is why just here and then I tried getting myself out of there as quickly as possible. So I'm trying to use that landscape to protect myself, and I'm trying to look for those opportunities that I can come up on the enemies and get those shots off. And it's very so much a tank you cannot tunnel vision. You want to be aware of where your team is, aware of where the enemy's team is. You want to be looking around at all times and not just continually focusing on one. So with the medium or light tank, it's very so much about spotting to help give you more data to understand where the enemy is, so you can make decisions on where to move and get that advantageous position on them. But also by spotting, it also helps your team know how to position themselves quicker against the enemy. So here I'm trying to get up I tried getting on this hill in a position to spot this object, but if he came around any sort of corner, I could quickly go off from one side or the other once spotting him, to once again use that landscape to protect myself. Now, this is kind of a mistake I made in right here because my grill is left alone, and I should have been a little bit more engaged to try to keep him distracted, not be able to push. It would have actually been much better for me to get behind the object, so that if he tried turning around and facing me, I could have gone back behind cover, and then the grill could have popped out and got a shot off him. And then if he would have been focusing on the grill, then I could be popping out and then doing the shots, utilizing some of that teamwork, which I know doesn't always exist in Blitz. But this grill, I mean, he looks like he knows what he's doing in active. Now it's down to this one-on-one. I'm basically almost a one-hit to this guy. He's got more hit points than I do, so I definitely need to be careful. And so here I'm backing myself away because I want to try to get myself in a position where I can utilize my view range. That's one of my strengths over this object, is I have much better view range than he does. So as you're playing any sort of tank in the game, you want to put yourself in a position, as I've said in my other tips and tricks vids, to maximize your tank's strengths and position yourself accordingly to protect your tank's weaknesses. You have to know what those strengths and weaknesses are of your tank, and then putting yourself in a position to expose your enemy's weaknesses. So he doesn't have as good a view range as I do. He doesn't have a turret. He's not as quick as I am or flexible. So I'm trying to use that in a way to get him in that position to do so. Now, what I could have done there that might have been even more effective or better, and it's like you think of these things after a game, unfortunately, but is to aim for his tracks, try to track him, and then the second he tries to repair his track him again. That auto reloader really does give you that advantage, and then even come up on him as fast as possible. Now here, this is another bad position because there's not enough of a gap to protect myself if he were to charge or rush after me. This is not an effective use of using the landscape. So yeah, I mean, there are some things that I wanted to show you in this replay. These were just 2 games I just did quickly back to back to get a video out to you guys on just some, just real game. But even here, like, I should have pushed, I could have pushed right there. But even in this one, I did make mistakes, but I wanted to point out those mistakes that was crucially made by myself that could have helped us drive our team to the winning. Now, here in the second replay, once again, I'm trying to get myself in a position right off the bat that is going to be an effective place to potentially spot the enemy, to help give me information on where they are and to help my team give information on where the enemy is so they can line up. So I see there's 2 tanks that have crossed over here, and I'm continually keeping myself here to help to see if I can spot others to make more decisions. So I see other tanks coming up here. I'm choosing not to shoot. Obviously, I don't have a shot right here, kind of looking for one, but I'm trying to spot as much as I can. I see the enemy team is a little slower on pushing over. But even from these spotting positions, just as you notice there, if you do take a shot, you want to get right back behind in that cover safety spot, as I was referring to earlier, utilizing the landscape, because most likely you're going to get spotted. And for those that don't know how the spotting mechanism works, which if you're a tier 10, it'd be kind of a little surprising, but that light bulb doesn't show until 3 seconds after the enemy has already seen you. So that's why when I take a shot, I immediately get behind the cover. So here I'm trying to pay attention to my options. I moved up from another center position to try to get another angle. Now I'm moving to this position because my team was over on the left-hand side, and they're far enough away out here. I need to get myself out of here. This is actually a very bad spot. This heavy tank, the Kampfpanzer, doesn't have a lot of hull armor. My DPM is a lot better than him, but I am trying to get myself just out of here. And it was a mistake on his part, but also a mistake on my part in the terms of not running away, because even at the beginning, when I notice any tank is coming toward me in a position like that, I immediately have to get out of there and get to cover and using the landscape as fast as possible. But when I'm making decisions from going from one point to the next on the map, before making that decision, I'm understanding where my team is. Because if I'm going completely rogue to a position where my team can't support me or provide any sort of supportive fire, I'm much more at risk of getting deleted a lot easier. So here I'm kind of trying to move like with my team, but still trying to be effective. I'm still trying to look for those advantageous positions and get to positions where I can help my team out as much as possible. So here in this, here up real soon when I come across the Vickers is one of the reasons why I think the Vickers is one of the best tier 10 tanks. But look at this. I mean, I'm trying to take a shot and there's even a lot of red, and this guy is a light tank. I'm a medium tank. I mean, I'm supposed to have more armor than this guy. So that was actually quite interesting. So here now, I'm trying to get eyes on their enemies. I'm looking over on the far right. We got that Yagaru, and I'm just kind of paying attention where my team is behind me. And now I'm making the decision to move up to try to help him as much as I can. We got rid of the Sheridan, and now it's just a matter of like, okay, let's get over to this Yagaru to try to help him out as much as possible, because he's trying to get over to him because he can try Circle of Deathing him. So anyway, those were a couple replays. And this one, I really tried getting into my thought process with these and sharing that with you guys to hopefully help you out in your Progetto 65 play. So anyway, Muffin here, stay cool and keep tanking.